Hey everybody, welcome back to IP Farms. Well, it's another beautiful day here in North Carolina. It's turned off hot again, about 92 right now. I gotta do some more bush hogging today, but I doubt I'll get any of that. I've already bored you with plenty of that, but I've been wanting to kind of do this for a little while just because I've had some questions here or there, but I'm gonna try it, if I don't make it too long-winded, ride around and get a few areas and explain a few things about the farm here and the land and what my ultimate goal is. I know I did all that in the very beginning of the channel, which I've gained a lot of subscribers since then. I'm not sure how many people have watched the older videos, but if you go back and see the older videos compared to what it is now, it might explain a little bit more. But just gonna go over a couple of things. Hopefully it doesn't get too long-winded. You know how I like to talk once in a while, but just thought it'd be interesting documentation purposes to show where we are, you know, as of August of 2021. So let's see what we can do. Okay, real quick, this is probably one of the few areas left that almost are completely untouched. This is what we call here the L-shaped pasture. I got started on this back in the late winter, early spring. You can see from the tree line over here to there, I cleared off. There's a ditch right here. We catch all the water from the upper side and the water runs down the hill here. But all this back in here used to be field. Of course, you can see how the sweet gums and poplar trees and everything have grown up, and I just haven't made it up here this summer. This is still on the agenda, probably be sometime next year. It stays wet in here really bad, so kind of need to get it in the summer, but it's just been overwhelming. So I'll show you a clip of this. This is big enough. It's probably 1.5 to 2 acres that, you know, I could put something in here. So eventually this will be on the agenda. Probably going to be kind of loud here, if you can even hear me. We're riding on the golf cart, of course, down here. You've all seen me run down the trail here. This is just one that kind of we made the access point during the clearing and stuff. I'll show you the lane here that I talked about in the history video on the picture. Hopefully get back to that one day, but I just haven't got that portion cleared yet. So we'll loop around up here. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I've got my wind protector on. I should take it off, but anyway, here's a shot back up the hill. You can see the gate there in the middle of the screen. That's the second gate, and there's one behind it that's right at the barn. And this was always the main thoroughfare coming down into the bottom land on the farm. In the 79 picture on the history video, you can see the road, and then I'll take you around here to the pond and show you that. Okay, we'll start it back up here. Hopefully this doesn't get too long. The pond is over here behind. Of course, it's grown up, like I said, but I've talked about it many times. We're starting across the dam portion. You can see over there, we're 7 or 8 feet lower. This is the original dam when the pond was built. I'm not 100% sure what went on here, but there's a huge culvert pipe. Actually 2 of them. I don't know if you can see them in the screen there. There's one there and there's one there. So really it's not a pond anymore. I mean, I guess it's filled in over the years, but you can just see the little creek over there maybe trickling through. So we're just strategically working to fill this in, and I'll leave this side over here up for you know, the water to pass through. So, but we're coming off of the dam of the pond now. I've got an area back over here that goes up to the wood lines that I put some brush, and then of course over here is the swampy area. A couple videos ago, blazing the trail, my buddy did end up getting stuck right there, buried the International, the little one. It just always stays wet because this is a low area for the water that comes down from the northern side of the property. So this over here is what they used to call the corral. I think they used to have hogs in it. That's just kind of like a storage do-all place for right now. You can see out here, I'll take you around the other side, just beyond the tall trees over there are along the little creek bank, and just beyond that is where my buddy was just doing the clearing, where we ran into all the bees and whatnot. That's the headlands of the other side of the bottom. So like I said, all this in here is kind of, it stays wet and nasty, and even in the summer I need to do some massive drainage ditches down here, and I think it'll dry up a little bit, but eventually I'm going to try to work my way through here and, you know, get all these trees cleared out. I don't know that I'll ever be able to do anything over here other than just mow it when it's real dry. Okay, we're going to take a little short quick turnaround here. I bush hogged through here with a big tractor, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Well, it's been about a month ago now. Barely got through here, but we're still kind of high on the hillside now, and we're going down into the low area of the bottom land if I don't get stuck in the golf cart. I bush hogged this the other day in some of the video that you guys saw. Right over there, like I said, is the headlands from the other side of the bottom land. So I've still got all this through here. This right in here stays pretty dry most of the time. So I've still got a lot of this right through here to take care of and clear. And of course, I've still got all these trees out here that are sporadic to get cleared down. And there's the beginning of the hillside. And you can't really tell anything with all the trees. Like I said, I've done this before, but I've still got to work over here because this is my other bread and butter for the bottom land, if you will. I would say right through this area from about where my hand is over that way, hopefully it'll be filled. There's a pretty big valley ditch here, and there's some couple holes on the back side. I mean, I don't know eventually if I'll get into doing some massive grading over here, you know, and trying to fill in some of this, cutting some of the hill down or what, but you know, like I said, I've bush hogged around all these trees. I've got to get all these out of here. I'll probably end up leaving that big one because it's just on the back side of where I'll run the field down. So let's move on up here towards the end. I'll stop here for just a minute. If you can see in the middle of the screen there, that cedar tree. This used to be a trail that went up the hillside. This is a pretty good incline here, and that was the way we accessed from the bottom land up to the hill, other than coming across the pond down where we just were. But that big dent that's in the back of my grandpa's truck on the bedside was from that tree right there. When he used to go up here, he had some telephone poles laid down. They're still there on the ground, and somehow or another he got up on one of those and it spun a little bit and kicked the back of the truck over and just bumped into that tree. But I bush hogged it. I knew that tree was still here. It's a lot bigger than it used to be, but thought that was pretty cool. Okay, if you can hear me for the background noise, we're out here at the very end of the easement. This is the hill that I fussed about. They cut down, and right over here is the highway. Here's where I blazed the first trail in the video, and like I said, this comes out into this field. You can see the original pole there where my grandpa had the gate across. So we're gonna make a ride up through here, and all this that you're gonna see, you know, in the next 30-45 seconds is the hillside, and I would say that 75% of this is going to get cleared at some point. Let's get on up through here if I don't get stuck. Everything is just growing out of hand. I mean, it's unreal how quick this stuff grows back after I clear it, whether it's just, you know, trees, saplings, weeds, whatever. It's just unreal. I apologize for the background noise. Four-wheeling in the golf cart, my dad's gonna kill me. Started a brush pile over there. Like I said, this is the woods here that, you know, there's bigger trees. There'll never be anything here, so this is gonna be a strategic area for the brush pile. And like I've said in numerous videos, you know, we're sitting up on top of the hillside right now, the highest point of the farm, basically, if you will. Right over in there, behind that dead cedar limb, is where the one yellow jacket's nest. So eventually when I get to come out through here, it should come, I'm thinking, between those two big cedar trees and that cedar tree right up through here. I may end up having to go around, but all this over here is some of that I cleared in a video, I think, blazing the trail number 2 or part 2. Okay, you've all seen this numerous times. This is the big cedar tree line. Of course, we've cleared that side. We've cleared some of this side. I still have quite a bit to do down through there as far as taking the big trees out. Right out here in the middle, I've talked about, that is a low area, and right now this looks like a pond out there. As much as I don't want to, I may end up having to give this area up just to nature. I don't know that I can ever get it to drain. It's so low in there. And you know, the big creek is way over there, so I'm not sure on that. That's one of the reasons why I just showed you the other side of the other trees I need to take out. So I may end up, there's a cedar tree right there, not the first one, but the second one, that big clump. There's a natural little, they used to call it the old creek, a little creek bed. But everything on the other side of that is where the easement was, and you know, that should be fine other than the big creek flooding. Of course, we're working on this down here. We showed you that. Still got a lot to take out there. And then starting about right here where my finger is, moving all the way around up back over to where the rock pile is, there's a chunk right in here that's got to come out. And my goal, I think, is to basically, if you will, run the field down. You know, if I do it, I can go out, let me back up, I can go out probably halfway between where I'm standing and the brush pile down there before it gets real wet. So I might can plant that and come back up. But if so, I can run the field right up, you know, at least to here and go around. And I doubt anything over here will ever get planted. So that we've got that to do and this to do. And then of course I've got the creek line over there. At some point I'm going to have to uplift some of the limbs. There's not going to be much clearing over there. It just helps keep the creek in, but most of it we're going to try to uplift some of the limbs so I can get right up against it and it's not brushing the equipment. All right, so from this point forward, up this cedar tree line here that goes all the way up, that's the prevalent line that you could see in the 79 picture, and it goes all the way back up there to Jack's fence. I've cleared the front side, you know, with the honey locust and whatnot. So from the Jack's fence gate there down here, I've got to uplift and move back. It's not too bad, maybe about 10 or 15 feet. But right there, I'm not getting close, right there where my finger's pointing, there's a huge cedar tree that there's a massive honeybee nest in. I don't want to mess with them or, you know, kill them or anything like that, so I just kind of leave them alone. We just didn't get to this last winter, so hopefully that's on the agenda. And then if I can get that finished up and get this line here, like I said, there you can see the one tree sticking out there, something like that's got to be taken down so that I can run my, you know, rows around. I'm going to keep a buffer from the fence line out that I can keep mowed, but you know, there's not a whole lot to finish up on this line. And then we finished all that up there on the top, which was the property line, and of course there's the other brush pile. So this field's pretty much ready other than this line here, and I don't think I'll be able to tackle this until it gets real cold, I guess you would say, and those bees get dormant. Okay, right here is where I plucked the stumps out just a couple of videos ago. Opened that up. I'm standing in the donkey pasture. That's the front field right there where my finger is. The dirt line is where I was doing the chisel plowing and disking. We've got to take out this clump. I don't really know why this got left when we cleared. This is one of the first fields we cleared. I don't know why we left that. I really don't, but we've got to take that out. It's just something else to mow around. And there is a high spot right here. There's, like I said, natural waterway, but there's a lot. So if I can get enough trees out, I might can shave some of this dirt if I get enough of an area and push it down that way and just make it all a gradual slope, if you will, down to that center ditch way. Because I'm thinking probably somewhere around this area right in here, haven't decided yet, all these trees over this way are going to come out, simply because the brush pile down there is going to keep coming out into the field. So I want a way that I can get from the front field down into the bottom land, either going around that way or coming around the high side here without having to go through the donkey pasture. So just trying to give you a perspective on, you know, everything in a nutshell rather than just one little area. Oh my, looks like I got a tree broke off up there. Nice, have to go investigate that. But like I said, the property line up there, you saw us clear that. So this gives you an idea of the donkey field, or donkey pasture rather. So I mean, this one's close, and of course the front field's close. I'll take you around and show you what we've got left there, and then we'll probably wrap this one up. I've babbled on enough. Okay, we'll do a ride. We're along the state road now. This over to the fence at places is as low as 5 feet, and as you go down, some of the limbs are hanging out as much as 15 or 20. So I've got to go through here and uplift. There's not a whole lot of clearing to do. Most of the trees are behind the fence line. I've just got to go up with it. So we'll take off down here and I'll show you. We started on this last winter, I think, just as a nominal project as it started. Well, I say fall into winter as it cooled off. Just got so hot last year, just like it has this year. But in places right through here, you know, we're 12, 15 feet off the line, or off the fence line. So there's a few trees that's got to come out. Nothing major. I think about right here is where we started uplifting. But I've got a massive communication, telephone, whatever line. I'll show you a picture right here. If you can see that, let me get my finger where it is. I think it's right there. There's two of them, and right here on the knoll, I can't get under it with a 1086. So I'm losing probably 7 or 8 feet, but I want to get that line as clean as possible so that I can have a grass buffer, you know, from the field, regardless of how I plant it, so we can keep that maintained around and keep this stuff from growing back out in the field. But never get under that with a big tractor or the combine. But we've got that, like I said, that line is what we have left there. And we got most of this one. This was the Texas two-step video you saw over a couple of days. I'm at the, I guess you would call it the southwestern corner of the front field, the property here. Big trees the corner. We've got maybe 30 feet here that we got to push back and uplift, and then we'll drive down along that property line there here in just a minute. And there's a couple of limbs that I don't think I had the big gas powered pole saw that day. I think we just had the electric when I was standing in the back of the dump truck. So there's a couple more that I can reach higher with that other pole saw, and then of course just clean that up, and we'll keep the buffer, you know, probably 10-12 feet off the fence line there, if we can keep it maintained. Okay everybody, we're gonna wrap this one up and call it a video. Just a little something different. I wanted to do a ride around one-shot tour deal. I think the first video I did of the tour, it was like 30 minutes long, which this is probably gonna be a little longer too. If any of you are still here watching, I really appreciate that. But had a couple people ask about it, so you know, I do little sporadic videos here or there about certain areas, and I talk about it. So you know, maybe if you're a new subscriber or something, you hadn't gone back and watched the older videos, it'll make a little bit more sense here. You know, what we've gotten accomplished so far, what's still to be accomplished, what my thoughts are, some of my concerns about certain things in different areas. But you know, we're getting there slowly but surely. So you know, I enjoy every minute of it. It's my passion and it's my dream, and you know, Lord willing, we're going to continue on every single day and do what I can. Eventually we're going to get crops growing here. But anyway, I'm not going to babble on too much. I've done that already in the video. Hopefully the audio wasn't too bad here on the two-stroke golf cart. But thank you everybody for watching. Please consider subscribing if you hadn't already. You know, hit the thumbs up button if you like what you see. Thumbs down, I understand it's not for everybody. Share the videos, get them out there. Might be somebody else interested in a little bit of this I'm doing here. You know, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It takes a while, but if you got the drive, you can accomplish it. Until next time, thank you.